Hello and welcome back, guys. We're now starting a new story, Deku in the Fairy World Season 1, written by Immortal King. You can find author's profile link in the description. Let's begin. Izuku POV. The final battle between the heroes and the villain had ended with so many deaths and I was completely useless. Why am I so weak? I wish I could save them all. I wish I had the power to save them all. You do? Who is that? All you need to do is give up your own life. What do you mean? Who are you? We are one for all and this is our final wish of you. Midoriya, unite the quirk. One for all and all for one. Place your hands over each other and onto the ground, then imagine all your power releasing into the world, reviving the dead. I will do it, I swear. And with that Izuku got up and walked to Shigaraki slowly as the world watched him in tears and his classmates and friends watched in confusion. Izuku grabbed Shigaraki and combined their quirks, creating the complete one for all, and walked forward to the center of the battlefield as everyone watched him crying, confused by his actions. Izuku smashed his fist into the ground and the earth began to shake, and he spoke with the voices of all the one for all users. Izuku, I who holds the principle of light from the gods. Izuku's eyes turned completely green as lightning started to burst around him. Izuku, and I who harnessed the will to destroy darkness and pain. Izuku's was in pain. Izuku, give up my life. The sky split in half as he finished. Izuku, resurrect the dead, and it happened. Flowers spouted from around Izuku as he screamed, with a golden light bursting from within him, spreading everywhere, bringing back the dead and healing the living. However, it wasn't strong enough, so Izuku pushed himself even further and his hands began to have cracks. The grass and flowers grew onto him. Izuku screamed, releasing all his life energy, allowing it to cross the entire city of Mustafa and heal the entire country of Japan. Heroes began standing and the dead began to breath, waking up again. However, Bakugo, Katsuki, Shoto, Todoroki, and Momo Yaoyorozu couldn't avert their eyes from the boy. The stars began to spin, the heavens opened, and the clouds which once stood thundering turned to a bright clear night sky. Izuku roared into that sky and the power he gave off intensified. Glowing yellow snow rained down slowly on the people as Izuku's memories flooded his mind. The people and his mother, nothing at that moment could comprehend the gift he had given them, and as the light died down Izuku fell to the ground and thunder rained down on them. Katsuki and Shoto ran to Izuku as he opened his eyes a little. Bakugo, Izuku, wake up. Izuku, Kachan. Bakugo, yeah, it's me, nerd. What was that? How did you save them? Izuku, I used the complete one for all. Shoto, I can't believe it. Midoriya, that was amazing. Now come on, let's go home. Izuku, I'm sorry Todoroki, but I'm not coming home. Katsuki, what? Izuku, for great power comes great responsibility, and for a great gift like this comes a price. Shoto, Midoriya, what are you saying? Izuku, to save the world. Izuku raised his hand. I had to give my life, Izuku said as things started going blurry. Shoto, no, you can't leave, please. Midoriya, Shoto said as he began tearing up, and Katsuki snarled, crying. Katsuki, shut up. Deku, you're coming home. You said you'd be number one, that we'd be great heroes together. Please don't leave me. Brother, tell me we're going home together. Izuku's breathing started slowing. Shoto, Midoriya, you're a hero. People need you, so please don't leave. I need you in my life. You're my best friend. Izuku, I'm so glad I got to meet everyone. Izuku said as he began to cry, remembering everyone and the time he spent with them. Izuku, I'm so happy to be here in UA to be a hero. Izuku said as remembered all his time with his mother and how he trained with All Might. Izuku, I'm so happy to have met Eri and Kota. The world was watching and crying at the scene. Meanwhile, All Might, Aizawa, Eri, Kota, and One were running to Izuku's location. Izuku, Kachan, my mum, she will be alone, so take care of her. Alright Katsuki, no way, that's your job. You're not going. Shoto, hey Izuku, look at me, you'll be alright. Okay Izuku, it's okay. Hey Shoto, yes Izuku, promise me you'll always smile, you'll give everything you have to protect the people you hold dear, and stop hating your dad. Shoto, after all you looked so much happier when he tried to be there for you. Shoto began to cry and hug Izuku, Kachan. Katsuki, what? Nerd. Izuku, you always were my hero and I never thought of myself better, but I just wish we could have had more fun together like back then. I miss it when we were kids. I missed you, my brother, so much. Izuku and Katsuki began to cry as it began to rain, and everyone who knew Izuku showed up crying next to him, and then All Might arrived. Seeing Izuku that way broke his heart, and Eri and Kota ran to his side. Eri, you said you wouldn't leave me, please don't go. Kota, you said a hero always keeps his promise, so come on, get up. Deku, you're my hero. Izuku, Eri, Kota, I'm so lucky to have met you two. Just seeing you, just spending time with you made me so happy. It was at those times I felt like a dad, so proud to watch as you two smiled every day, to watch as you bother grew. I'm so sorry that I won't be here to watch you anymore. Eri, Papa. Kota, Dad, they both said, crying. All Might walked up to Izuku but stopped because Aizawa-sensei went beside Izuku, taking him away from Shoto as Aizawa hugged Izuku, crying. Aizawa, I'm so sorry, problem child, this is all my fault, I'm sorry. Izuku shook his head. Izuku, no it isn't, you tried so hard and I admired that. I watched you as a kid, sir. I watched as you beat up villains despite having no strength enhancement quirk. You fought quirkless, the one person I ever truly desired to become. All Might then got on his knees and Izuku looked at his teacher who was crying. Izuku, hello, All Might, young Midoriya. Izuku, see, can I become a hero? Even though I'm quirkless, can I become like you? All Might began to cry. All Might, please don't make me say it. Izuku, please sir. All Might, no Midoriya, you can become better. Izuku smiled happily as he used all he had left to lean onto All Might. Izuku, All Might, it's so cold. Izuku said as All Might hugged him, crying, I don't want to go, sir, I want to stay. Izuku pleaded as All Might began screaming his pain. Please don't make me go, Izuku said as he cried, but then at that moment he saw a smaller version of himself growing up with the people beside him, becoming who he was at that moment. Izuku whispered, but I'm glad it was this way. He closed his eyes with tears running down his face and a smile as the only thing left to remember him by, as everyone broke down crying and Katsuki began to scream as All Might hugged him too. Izuku, wake up. Izuku, don't leave me. Izuku, he screamed over and over again, but he never woke up in a wormhole. Izuku, Izuku is falling at the speed of sound down the wormhole as arcs of different colored lightning clashed into him. He could feel his entire body being torn apart and then put back together, as well as a powerful form of energy flowing throughout his body. Suddenly clutching his head, memories began to flow into Izuku of different people: a boy with pink hair, a white scarf, and beside him, a girl with black hair a little older than the boy. Both were playing together without a care in the world who these children were and why he saw them. Confused, the boy, that is still a booming voice, began to speak, revealing a new memory of an old man who had little Izuku sit on his lap. My boy, do you swear to always be a hero? The old man questioned the child, who smiled brightly. I do, grandpa. Good, my boy, and always remembers your promise no matter what. Izuku nodded with a bright smile as his grandpa finished. Okay, little one, before I leave I want to tell you something. What is it, grandpa? Izuku, when you grow older you will leave this world and go into your original home, a land filled to the brim with magic, an appealing land, and in that land, there is a girl who is waiting for you. Izuku, promise me you'll save her. I swear, grandpa. Izuku, no, this can't be, he was just messing around. Hold on, if he wasn't messing around with me, does that mean? Izuku went pale before screaming, I actually came from a magic world. Suddenly a bright white light enveloped Izuku and then he was gone. Meanwhile, in the appealing city of Magnolia we see a boy with pink hair, a white scarf, walking wearing a blue vest, white baggy briefs, and sandals with a fairy tale mark on his shoulder. This young fellow's name is Natsu. Flying on his right is a blue cat with a green bag and white wings and the same mark on its back. This little guy's name is Happy. Finally on his left is a girl with blonde hair, a large bosom, wearing a white blue vest. She has her hair in a side tail held together by a blue ribbon. On her brown belt are 4 keys, 2 gold, 2 silver, and finally she has a pair of brown boots on. Her name is Lucy Heartfilia. These 3 are on their way back to the Fairy Tale Guildhall. Lucy, hey Natsu, are you sure they'll let me join? Me Natsu, don't worry Lucy, they'll love you. What? The Natsu looked up, followed by Lucy and Happy, when they saw a crack in the sky, and then the crack burst. Falling from it was Izuku. Natsu jumped high, using his fire to rocket to Izuku, grabbing him as they landed onto the ground. Lucy, what happened to him and why was he falling from the sky? Natsu, I don't know, but sniff sniff, he smells weird. Happy, what do you mean? Natsu, no clue. Sigh, hey wake up, he said, but Izuku didn't budge. Natsu, way awake you. Lucy wake Natsu on the back of his head. Lucy, that's not how you wake someone up. Izuku began to stir and then wake up, looking at the 2 in front of him and the cat. Izuku asked, where am I? Happy flew down next to Izuku. You're in Magnolia. Why? Happy questioned. Izuku thoughts, then it's true, I'm in another world. Wait, then that must mean Izuku, hey, can you tell me where Fairy Tale Guildhall is? Natsu, yeah sure, if you want you can come with us, we're heading there now. Izuku, really, thank you so much. Happy, sir. Izuku smiled at the cat and petted its head, making Happy sink into his warm and soft hand, shocking Natsu, but instead of going into it he decided to keep moving forward, so guiding the 2, Natsu took Lucy and Izuku to the Fairy Tale Guildhall. Natsu, by the way, I'm Natsu Dragneel. Lucy, and am Lucy. Izuku, hi, it's a pleasure. The name's Izuku. Upon arrival, Lucy and Izuku gasped at the sight of the guild. However, Natsu kicked the door open immediately. Natsu, we made it back alive happy. I'm home. Lucy and Izuku entered the guild looking around and taking the incredible place, and meanwhile the guild greeted Natsu. Random one. So I heard you went all out in Harjin. Natsu had to go starting trouble Aga, but before Mr. Smart but could finish. Natsu kicked his face, sending him flying into a bunch of barrels, shocking Lucy and making Izuku laugh nervously. Lucy, why did you do that? Natsu, you lied about that salamander. I am gonna kick your butt. Random one, don't blame me, I was just passing some rumor I heard. Natsu, it was just a rumor. Random one, you wanna fight? Natsu, bring it on. Natsu and the other member began to brawl as others watched, that is till the other members wanted in and began to fight as well, but with Izuku and Lucy they were still taking the side in. Lucy, I can't believe I'm in the fairy tale guild hall. Izuku, hey yeah me too. Izuku said, rubbing the back of his head and looking away from the fight, a little afraid but mostly nervous. But those two were quickly interrupted by a teen with black hair, a dark blue guild mark, an iron chain with a cross, and only in his underpants. This young man's name is Gray, Fullbuster Gray. So Natsu finally made it back. Gray began marching to Natsu and his fight when a girl with brown hair, brown jeans, a cuff around her arm, and bracelets above her wrists. This young girl's name is Kana. Kana, Gray, your clothes. Gray, I don't have time for that. Kana, you see I don't date the men here cause they don't have any class, she blurted out, sighing before holding a massive barrel and drinking beer from it. Izuku looked away from her, blushing, and Lucy just stood there shocked and gasping. Gray, come out here and fight me. Natsu, not until you put some clothes on. Random 2, it's not even noon and you guys are already fighting like spoiled brats. If you're a real man then you'll fight with your fist. This brute-looking man is named Elfman. Izuku, it looks like Kirishima had a twin. Lucy, what are you talking about? She's speaking to Elfman, not Izuku, but unfortunately for him, Natsu and Gray both punched him at the same time, sending him flying. Izuku, I felt bad for him but not anymore cause he's a real man. Izuku said, smirking and giving him a thumbs up. Random 3, it's so noisy around here. This boy's name is Loke and he is a playboy and is acting tough and cool, that is till he was hit on the head by a bottle. Loke, I'll fight for you girls. Good luck. Loke, Izuku, is there no sane person in this guild? Gramps, what have I gotten myself into? Random 4, hello, are you new here? The two turned only to see a gorgeous white-haired girl with blue eyes and a radiant smile. This goddess in human form is named Mira Jane Strauss. Lucy, oh my god, it's Mira Jane in the flesh, she said, fanning over the angel of a woman. However, once Mira and Izuku's eyes met, the two had a small blush on both their faces. Oh, and I forgot to mention Izuku's appearance changed when he got there, so from this to this, an inch taller than Natsu, a face and body resembling gods, with appealing red eyes, and not to mention an appeal that makes a succubus seem like a normal demon. Izuku, wouldn't it be better if we stopped all this? Mira, it's always like this around here. Besides it's kind of thin. Mira said, looking away from Izuku and playing with her fingers. However, something came flying by about to hit Mira when Izuku grabbed her wrist and pulled her to him, making Elfman crash into the wall and Mira blush crimson. Mira, why? Izuku, are you alright? He asked, pulling her back softly before Mira fainted. Izuku, well that's bad. Mstr, enough is enough. Mira woke up in a second and smiled. Mstr, you're back. Izuku and Lucy looked at the guild Mstr, whose appearance was shadowed due to his giant height. Lucy was scared and Izuku, well, due to the final battle that killed him he was a lot braver, like Natsu brave. Everyone stopped fighting while Natsu laughed, mocking everyone until the Mstr slammed his foot down on him, shutting Natsu up. Mstr, well, seems we've got new recruits. Izuku, Lucy, yes, why yes sir. The matter shrunk down into a small sweet old man. This man's name is Makarov. Nice to meet ya. Izuku, it's a pleasure sir. Izuku Midoriya. Lucy, hi, I'm Lucy the teacher. Nodded after taking in their names and jumped backward, crashing into the ledge of the second floor before climbing it and standing on it, attracting his guild's attention. Mstr, you've gone and done it again, you bunch of magic clods. Just take a look at the number of complaints I've gotten from the Magic Council sent me this time. This is the biggest amount of complaints yet. Have you lost your minds? All you kids are good for is getting the Magic Council angry at me, growling. However, I say to heck with the Magic Council, he said, lighting the papers on fire and throwing it away only for Natsu to eat it. Mstr, now listen up, any power that surpasses reason is still reason. Magic isn't some kind of miraculous power, it is a talent that only works when the flow of energy in both us and the natural world is in sync. To perform magic one must have a strong mind and incomparable focus. It should take over your being and pour out your soul. If all we do is worry about following rules, then our magic will never press. Ignore the blowhards on the council and follow the path you believe in, because that's what Makes US number 1 inch, the old man said, making the hand sign of fairy tale and raising it into the air as the entire guild cheered. Later Mira had given both Lucy and Izuku their guild marks. Lucy got it in her hand while Izuku got it on his chest right over his heart. After that he left the guild hall to buy a place to live. Apparently, Izuku's grandfather had bought Izuku a 2-story house for full price and already set out a couch, kitchen table, seats. He basically made the house like Izuku's old home, which got Izuku to cry a little anyway. After a little while he left the house and entered a forest, looking up at the night sky which rained rainbow shooting stars. Deku in the Fairy World Season 1. In the town where Mermaid Heel is, we can see Deku walking around carrying a bag. He is currently wearing a jacket of his former hero suit, a grey jacket, and black jeans. Suddenly a kid comes his way and falls in front of him. Walking to the boy about to help him, Izuku extended his hand. However, the sounds of whipping and trotting, as well as shouts, could be heard from in front of Izuku. Looking forward he saw a carriage and a man dressed in a red suit coming towards Izuku, about to run over the boy, gaining everyone's attention as they feared for the teary child's life. Child, in a flash, the ground below Izuku shattered and he reappeared in front of the child. Izuku, that's enough. The horse stopped immediately, angering the nobleman aboard it. The smoke disappeared and Izuku stood there with no emotion on his face. Nobleman, how dare you, boy, do you know who I am? Izuku ignored the man angering him and earning gasps from the people as he stood and crouched to the crying child, picking him up and wrapping his arm around the boy protectively. Izuku, there, it'll be all right, noble. Why, you little, who do you think you are? Tio, ignore me. The man began to hit Izuku with his WHP and one hit caused a cut on Izukus to escape from it. Upon one more hit Izuku raised his fist, allowing it to wrap around his arm. Bangs shadowed his eyes as the nobleman began to make threats. Nobleman, do you know? Izuku grabbed him by his throat, raising the nobleman off the ground as he began to tear up. Izuku, listen up, you pompous little SHT, I don't care who you are. This child could have died, so I expect you to give all your riches to this village. After all, you're going to prison anyway. The nobleman tried to escape, but Izuku didn't let go and began to heat up his hand, causing smoke to erupt from the man's neck. Izuku, clear, nobleman. Why yes sir. Izuku, good. The people began to cheer and the child's mother came and hugged Izuku, thanking him and taking her child. The cheers and smiles of everyone brought a smile upon Izuku's face before he decided it was time to leave and go back home to Fairy Tail. The next day in Fairy Tail, in the Fairy Tail Guild Hall, everyone can be seen partying and celebrating while others simply drank wakaba. So when are you and me gonna go on a date? Mira, wakaba, there's one small problem. She used her magic and turned her face into his wife. Mira, you already have a wife. Wakaba, I hate it when you do that, it's so creepy, he said, jumping out of his seat while Loki giggled. Kana, I wish I could drink in peace for once. Mikau, well, if you didn't drink all day. Meanwhile, with Natsu, who was laying his head on the table bored out of his mind, Lucy can only stand and watch while Happy ate his fish. Natsu, I guess we should find another job. Happy, we're running out of food money. Lucy, if we'd taken that 2 million jewel reward we'd be sitting pretty. And I can't let myself forget that rent's gonna be due next week. I guess I'd better find a job too. Scene change. Lucy is standing in front of the job board looking for a job to do with a thoughtful look on her face. However, Mira showed up from behind the board. Mira, well, let me know if you find a job you'd like to take on. The MSTRS away at a conference, so I'm taking charge. Lucy, what kind of conference? Mira, one for Guild MSTRS. Every once in a while they get together to talk about the state of things. It's like the Magic Council. Oh, pardon me, read us. Can I borrow a light pen? Read us. We Mira. The Council Era is the most powerful organization in the magic world. It's only one step below the government. It has 10 members and it's their job to uphold all magical rules and regulations, and if a wizard breaks magical law they will be punished. Then there are the different MSTR leagues, which are local guilds working together. Then the individual MSTRS, it's their job to pass down their decree to the council. In a way, these MSTRS are like the glue that holds this all together, which is a pretty stressful job. Lucy, wow, I never realized all the guilds are interconnected like that. Mira, it's important we cooperate with each other, otherwise the entire system will fall apart. Izuku understood this all pretty easily. Lucy, oh right. Mira, how is he? I mean, we've seen him like once or twice in these last few days, but that's it. Mira, giggle. Well, flashback. Mira was smiling at Izuku, who was about to exit the guild, before he turned around and asked, hey Mira, what would you like when I get back? Just so I know, since I don't want to keep Bisca waiting long. Mira, I'd like a green dragon berry rose. Izuku, you ask for that every time. I never understood why. Whatever, okay, you can count on me. Mira, Wait, Izuku turned one more time only to have a soft pair of lips press against his cheek. Mira, I'll be waiting. Izuku smiled and exited the guild, leaving a softly smiling Mira in the empty guild. Flashback end. Mira, he's good. However, Lucy wasn't paying attention. Instead she was smiling at Natsu and Gray, who were fighting, and the guild, which was laughing. But then the doors slammed open and from it a frightened looking Loki. I got bad news. The guild went silent. Loki, it's Erza, she's on her way here. The entire guild gasped. Sounds of shattered glass echoed through the air, and screams shook the building, with Natsu and Gray looking like they SHT themselves. Lucy, wow, just mention Erza and the whole guild goes silent. Mira, she's the strongest female mage we've got in Fairy Tail, and more than a bit intimidating. Heavy footsteps and clanking metal could be heard from outside as the guild. Gray even more afraid. Loki, that's got to be her. Wakaba's voice was like a whisper. Those sound like her footsteps. Mikau, even the air's gone completely still. Lucy, geez, from these reactions you'd think she'd be some kind of demon or something. A female monster appeared in Lucy's mind, destroying a whole village by stomping. Lucy, I am scared. The sounds of Erza's footsteps bounced off the walls of the silent guild as she slammed her massive souvenir down onto the ground, shaking the floor a little. The light illuminated her figure, revealing a appealing red-haired woman in armor. Erza, I have returned. Where is Mstr Makarov? Lucy, wow, she's pretty. Mira, welcome back. Erza, the MSTR's busy at a conference right now. Erza, I see. Random one. So what's that humongous thing you've got there? Erza, it's the horn of a monster that I defeated. The townspeople decorated it and gave it to me as a souvenir. Do you have a problem with it? She asked, raising her voice a little. Random, no, not at all. Kana, I wonder if she knows about what happened at Empty Hikabi. Mikau, think so. Oh man, I'm screwed. Lucy, she's not anything like I imagined. Erza, now listen up. While I was on the road I heard a few things. As of late Fairy Tail is causing nothing but trouble. Mstr Makarov may not care, but I certainly do. Kana, you need to start controlling your drinking. Kana, stop drinking. Erza, Vijatir, please take the dancing outside. Vijatir, stop dancing. Erza, Wakaba, get rid of that filthy habit. Nab, I suspected I'd find you dotting around the request board. Job, just pick a job. Mikau, sigh. Mikau, please just say something, he said in a desperate tone. Erza, I don't even know where to begin with you. You cause so much trouble I've almost given up. Lucy, she's really tearing into everyone. It's like she's taking over. Lucy said, trying to whisper, when Happy appeared. That's Erza for ya, he said in a condescending tone. Lucy, even if she's kind of body she's still saner than anyone else here. I don't see why everyone is so afraid of her. Erza, are Natsu and Gray here? She questioned before turning to Natsu and Gray, who had their arms over each other as if best friends. Natsu, I. Gray, oh hey there Erza, we're just hanging out like good friends tend to do. Lucy, why is Natsu talking like Happy? Erza, that's good, I'm quite pleased you two are getting along so well. However, it's only natural for even the best of friends to fight sometimes, she said, smirking. Gray, I don't know if we're the best of friends. Natsu, I. Lucy, what's got into Natsu? Mira, he's afraid of her because last time he picked a fight with her she beat him up pretty badly, and then she saw Gray walking around in his underpants and beat him up. To Lucy, that was a stupid thing to do. Kana, let's not forget how she beat up Loki for hitting on her. Lucy, can't say I blame her. Erza, Natsu. Gray, I need a favor to see. While traveling I heard something that has me quite worried. Normally I would discuss this with the MSTR, but he's not here and this is a matter of utmost urgency. The two of you are the strongest wizards here, I could use your help. People began to murmur and gasp that is till the door began to open and everyone turned their eyes shocked at everyone. Favorite green-haired dragon slayer Izuku, hey guys, I'm back. Why are you all so quiet? Erza, hello, and you are? Izuku opened his tired eyes only to look at Erza. Izuku, oh, I'm a new Fairy Tail wizard, I joined 4 weeks ago. Erza, I see, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Erza Scarlet. Izuku, Erza Scarlet, you have a appealing name, it suits you, he said before giving off his signature smile. Copyright Deku, earning a blush from Erza, shocking everyone. Ezra blushed. Mira, thoughts, why do I feel angry at Izuku and have the urge to hug him protectively? Biska, thoughts, he can do what he wants, however I'm a step ahead of her, after all, I did kiss him. An overload. Flashback. Izuku and Biska are hiding behind a pillar so as to not be seen by the kidnappers and RPSTS leader, DMN, those wizards from Fairy Tail. Hold on, I have a way to flush them out. Pleasure magic lewd mind. The girls captured began to shake with pleasure as the pink gas approached Biska and Izuku. Izuku, thoughts, DMN, if this smoke goes through Biska then she will expose us. I can't let that happen. However, to counter this smoke it must be like midnight's. Okay, I got it. To fight pleasure, use even more pleasure. Izuku's grandpa, I'm so proud with Izuku. Izuku, hey Biska, I'm sorry Biska, for what? But before she could finish, Izuku Smashed his lips onto hers, their tongues intertwined. She tried to push him away, however when the pleasure gas enveloped them she began to lose her mind into the pleasure. Izuku, DMN it, it's not strong enough. Izukus grandpa, use the gift. Izuku, damn it. Suddenly Izukus' eyes changed to gold and slits appeared in them. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Bisca lost herself in them as moisture began to floor her PP. Izuku gripped her so the pleasure from Izuku absolutely wrecked the mist of pleasure spell, and leaning forward Izuku's canine fangs appeared. All 4 fangs stuck out before he nibbled on Bisca's throat, making her his first mate but also so he doesn't do anything else. The gift within the Midoriya family bloodline. All males are born with the gift, an ability in which lust and pleasure overcomes the partner of the user. Their eyes turn into golden slits and fangs grow out like canines. This also places something similar to a curse around their neck, but unlike a curse, it only goes there if the girl's truest feelings allow it, and if she were to betray Izuku she would feel a need for him so deep she'll do anything to have him, and like the curse her heart needs to allow it. Flashback, and Bisca placed her hand on her neck and smiled sweetly at the memory mirror. Hey Erza, how about you take Izuku with you? I mean, he's already on the same rank as Natsu or maybe higher, and also I'm sure you've heard his title, the Hero King. Erza smiled at the thought. So will you join us? Izuku, sure, if I can help people then count on me. Erza, glad to hear it. Chapter 3 End. How do you think the world will change with Fairy Tail's strongest team? Natsu aka Salamander Gray, Aka Ice Boy, Lucy Aka Looney Happy the Cat, Erza Aka Fairy Queen, Titania, Izuku Aka Hero King, El Drago, Deku. In the Fairy World Season 1, in the train station of Magnolia, Natsu and Gray can be seen fighting while Lucy, Happy, and her celestial spirit of the dog Plu are seated on the bench. Lucy, let's just sit here and pretend we don't know them. Happy, so why did you go then? Lucy, Mira asked me to come along. Flashback, Lucy is sitting at the bar while Mira Jane is standing in front of her holding a tray with beer mugs on it. Mira, those two are probably gonna fight, so I want you there to stop them but also to help Izuku. He works his job solo so he might not be used to fighting with others, and he worried me a lot, so go. Okay. Flashback, and Happy, you aren't doing a very good job. Lucy, they're hopeless. Erza, sorry I'm late. Have you been waiting long? Natsu and Gray stopped fighting and began to act like 2 utter fools, wrapping their arms over the other's shoulder and dancing around Gray. I can't wait to work with you, good buddy. Natsu, AYE. Lucy, no not really. Lucy said, turning to Erza. Well, all those belong to you, shouted Lucy as he stared at Erza, who was strolling a cart with tons of luggage aboard it. Gray, let's go, good buddy. Natsu, AYE. Haha. Lucy, listen, one happy's enough. Erza smiled. Good, I really love seeing you two getting along. And what was your name? I met you in the guild yesterday. Lucy, Lucy, and I just joined the guild yesterday. Mira asked me to come along. I hope it isn't a bother. Erza, not at all, the more the merrier. I'm Erza. Wait, you're the girl I heard about, the one who defeated the mercenary gorilla using only your pinky finger. It'll be great to have a wizard like you on board. Thanks for your help. Lucy was shaking and hugging her spirit tightly. Oh no, it's my pleasure, she said before Natsu butted in. Natsu, hi Erza, I'll come but on only one condition. Gray, shut up. Erza, okay, let's hear it. Natsu, when we get back fight me. Gray, what's wrong with you? You got some kind of death wish? Natsu, I'm a lot stronger than last time. This time will be different. I'll beat you. Erza, humph. Okay, I can tell you much stronger than last time. Okay, I accept your condition. Natsu, yeah, I am fired up, he said as his face literally caught on fire. Lucy, hey, where's Izuku? Erza, now that you mention it, where is he? Izuku, come on guys. They turned to see Izuku head out the train's window smiling at the group. Natsu laid on the chair completely sick. Gray, I swear you're totally lame. Natsu, 1 minute you want to fight, the next you like this. Lucy, there's got to be a way to fix him. Erza, don't worry, he's fine. Natsu, come sit here. Lucy swapped seats with Natsu. Erza put her arm around his shoulder with a smile and then punched his gut, knocking him out, allowing Lucy to realize how not completely sane she is. Gray, okay Erza, I think it's about time you tell us what this is all about. Time skip. After Erza explains the enemies and problem. After the explanation, Izuku got up from his seat and walked away, gaining the group's attention. Lucy, what's wrong with him? Erza, I'm not sure, I'll go check. Getting up, Erza went after Izuku on the route of the train. Erza searched for Izuku only to stop and hide behind a window. Shocking her was that he was crying. Izuku, even here I can't escape. Suddenly Izuku lifted his hand into the air and from it emerged a golden light which began to form several beings. Shigaraki, Muscular, All for One, the League of Villains, Overhaul, Nomu, and Gigantomachia. Izuku, You all followed me into this world and it's my job to kill you once and for all, after all. This is your game all for one Izuku. Sigh man, I'm so tired. Erza, you can come out, Izuku said, shocking her ass. She came out of hiding and sat beside him. Erza, those people, Izuku. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard I'm not from this world, Erza. No, of course not, Izuku. There is no need to lie, I hear the guild talking, that's why I work alone, Erza. So I'm guessing those people were evil in your world, Izuku. That they are, and it's my job to stop them. Sigh. Hey Erza, do you know about music, Erza? Why do you know how to sing, Izuku? That I do want to hear it, Erza nodded, so using his fire to form a portable piano, Izuku began to sing. Listening to the song, Erza couldn't help but feel drowsy. Its slow melody was a symphony to her ears, letting the warm feeling of comfort inside her take over. She closed her eyes and leaned onto Izukus's shoulder as he sang. Once finished, Izuku looked to his shoulder with a blush but a smile as well, guiding her head and laying it on his lap. He began to slide her hair, but surprisingly she found herself snuggling into his soft and warm palm. For some reason she felt that there was nothing to fear around him. It was like he pushed the darkness and pain away. Upon arrival at the train station, the group walked off inside. Gray, do you think they're still here, Erza? I have no idea, Lucy. I still think I should have stayed home. Happy. Hey, where's Natsu? On the train still. We see a sick Natsu, still conscious from Erza's earlier punch. Happy, and there he goes staring at the train leaving while Lucy's mouth was hanging open and her luggage dropped onto the floor. Erza, we were so busy talking we forgot about him. Turning around and clutching her fist in disappointment. Erza, I am such a fool. Natsu hates all forms of transportation. This is all my fault. I need one of you to come and hit me. Gray, no thanks. Izuku simply petted her head. Calm down, there's no need to hurt yourself now, come on. I found a car, and with that, they drove off. Time skip after Natsu jumped out the train and head-butted Gray. I will only do parts with Izuku. Natsu, how come you guys left me on the train? Erza, I'm just thankful you're alright. I'm sorry, Natsu, she said, hugging him. However, he simply slammed his head on her metal breastplate. Natsu, it's okay. After releasing him, Natsu began to explain how he was attacked by someone on the train and the item he heads with him, a flute with a skull and 3 eyes, and that the dude was from Eisenwald. Only to earn a slap from Erza. You fool, that's exactly who we're looking for on this mission. Why did you let him get away? She screamed as Lucy, Gray and Izuku winced in pain. Natsu, wait for a second, this is the first time I heard about it. Erza, I explained everything on the train. You should listen when people talk to you. Izuku, hey Erza, it isn't Natsu's fault. Erza turned to Izuku with a glare. And why not? She asked angrily. Because you knocked him out. Erza took 3 seconds to take in his words before going on her knees and apologizing to Natsu. Erza, we have no time to get on a train, let's go after him, she said, placing the cuff for the magic car onto her arm. Gray, so what was this guy like? Natsu, a total prick, but like I said, he had that weird flute with him. Lucy began to make a connection with the flute and the death song. Lucy, it's death magic. Gray, so it's like an incantation. Lucy, I've only ever read about them in books, but there are some deadly spells out there. Forbidden spells? Erza, that's true, the forbidden spells kill anyone they're used on. Lucy, well, if I'm right, Lullaby is even worse. Scene changed. The magic car could be seen speeding towards the next station. Meanwhile, Izuku sat beside Erza and Gray hanging on the roof the car. Izuku, slow down. Erza, you're using too much magic power. Erza, I can't if I slow down for even a minute, trust me, lives will be lost. Erza thoughts, curse them, what is it they hope to accomplish? This is madness. Izuku thoughts, if I'm right, then this Reaper guy needs to be stopped immediately. I just hope he isn't going to do what I think he's going to do. Scene changed. The group stopped in front of Clover Town Station. A man was making announcements when Erza questioned him. Erza, sir, what's going on? Announcer, why would I ever tell you? Katie, angry. Erza head-butted him and knocked the guy out. She asked the next and the next and the next, but before they could say anything she heads-butted them, finally reaching the last guy. She headbutt him only to have her head stopped softly by Izuku, who used his palm. Erza, can't you see I'm trying to get information? She asked angrily before he flicked her head, causing her to rub the smoking spot. Izuku, sigh, just watches. Erza, pardon me sir, may you please tell us what's going on? We just want to help, man. Of course, a dark guild has taken over the train station, please help us. Izuku looked at Erza with a smile while she just stood shocked. Grabbing her hand, he began to run in with Gray, Natsu, and Lucy close behind. The group came upon all the knights knocked out, and behind the knight standing in front of a train is the Dark Guild and the Reaper. Aragorn, welcome, it's such an honor. Fairy Tale Flies Fart Guild, chuckling Erza, so I take it you're Aragorn. That's right. Lucy began shaking Natsu to wake him up. However, it was the guy who fought Natsu on the train, Kaga, that woke Natsu up. Erza, we're not threatened by any of you, tell me what you're planning to do with Lullaby Aragorn. So you haven't heard yet, he flew high up Aragorn. What do all stations have, Lucy? He flew happy. It's wind magic landing on top of a speaker. Aragorn crouched. Izuku, you're planning to broadcast the song, but if you do that, Izukus' eyes widened in shock and fear. You'll kill everyone in this entire town. Izukus' group looked shocked while the Dark Guild simply smirked. Erza, what reason do you have to commit such a heinous crime against the innocent people of this town? Aragorn, this is a cleansing of fools who fail to appreciate the rights they hold so dear, who remain willfully ignorant to the plight of those who have their rights strppd away from them. They committed the sin of turning a blind eye to the injustice of the world. Therefore, the Reaper has come to punish them. Ha 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 ha. Izuku, shut up. Everyone turned to the boy looking down with his hair shadowing his eyes. Izuku, I'm sick and tired of people like you. All you are is a criminal. Don't try to make people see you as a good guy. You kill for money and laugh at the pain you bring. You don't care about the families of the ones you hurt, and then you come about saying this is for a noble cause or you're doing what's right. No, you're pathetic, just like your words. Looking up, everyone could see his eyes glowing red with a piercing glare that could make anyone sht themselves. Izuku, you're nothing but a scumbag that will be taken down. Do you hear me, Aragorn, you pathetic weakling? Aragorn was growling while the fairy tailors were smiling at Izuku. Aragorn, shut up and die. Kill them, all of them. Aragorn flew away. Erza, Natsu, Gray, you two go after him. Once combined, not even Aragorn could stop you, and with that Natsu and Gray both ran after Aragorn while two others from the Dark Guild follow. Erza, we'll go after them when we finish with the rest of the men here. Lucy, 2 girls and 1 boy against a whole guild. Random 1. Mama always told me not to hit a girl. Random 2. Sorry ladies, but you're not gonna be as cute when we're done with you. Lucy, but without my stunning beauty I'll be helpless, she said, posing happy. This is no time for daydreaming, Lucy. Erza, alright, let's do this. Opening her hand, Erza summoned a sword, shocking Lucy. Erza, if you dare to insult the Fairy Tale Guild again in my presence, I swear none of you will live to see tomorrow. The Dark Guild charged her, bragging about their swordsmen, only to be defeated by a single slash. Jumping forward, she continued to destroy them. Radon, I'll show you. He and a bunch of other magicians prepared to fire their spells when Izuku ran in and reeled his fist back, then shouted, Izuku, Detroit Smash. That one spell took every single mage down in a second, leaving at least 10 standing but with many injuries. Lucy, WOAH, he's so cool. Happy, you ain't seen nothing yet. They say Izuku's strength and magic power are on a whole nother level compared to Natsu's Fire Dragon Slayer magic. He could be on par with Erza. Erza, good job Izuku. Izuku smiled back at her while hiding his arm, which was shaking a little. Izuku thoughts, DMN, in this world my body can handle at least 15% full power, but any more and it'll shatter. Erza, still so many. I don't have a lot of magic, but alright. And with that, she began her transformation. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. Happy began to explain Erza technique to Lucy, who was left gasping in shock. Erza, alright. The Dark Guild began to realize who she was. Erza, dance my swords. Random, oh no, run. Oops. This image does not follow our content guidelines. To continue publishing, please remove it or upload a different image. As all the villains were left wounded and near death on the ground, one of the people who stayed back engaged. Random, alright, now you dealing with me, he said. However, before his fist could make contact, snap, AAAAAAAARGH, the guy screamed in agony as Izuku gripped his wrist, shattering it like a juice box with a smile on his face, punching the guy, sending him flying. Erza, thank you Izuku. Izuku nodded. Hey, we need to go and warn the people to leave. What will happen next? Will they get Aragorn? And what else will this son of a beach author change about Fairy Tale? Standing on the balcony of the train station, Erza and Izuku stood. Erza, holding the microphone, walked forward. Erza, if you value your life you'll leave at once. Random, what's going on? Erza, this station has been taken over by evil wizards. They are threatening to fire a death spell over the speakers. All gasp. Erza, that would kill everyone here. I beg you, run as far as you can. The people, however, didn't move, only stood still. So walking forward, Izuku took the mic and screamed, Izuku, get out of here. You're all going to die if you don't. Everyone screamed as they ran off guard. Hey you two, why would you make everyone panic like that? Erza, I would rather that than watch all of these people die. Izuku, in fact you sir should leave as well. The guards gasped before running away themselves. Erza turned to Izuku and spoke, now that we've cleared this station of all the people, I wonder what Aragorn's next move will be. Izuku, Erza look. Erza looked behind her to where Izuku pointed, only to see the entire train station covered by some sort of wind barrier. Aragorn, I've always wanted the opportunity to battle the Queen of the Fairy, however sadly I don't have time to play with you now. Aragorn opened his hand, causing an explosion sound to take over and a bright purple light to blind the two. Next things they knew, they were in the train station's wind barrier. Erza, Aragorn, she charged at the barrier only to be slammed back. Luckily Izuku caught her. Aragorn, it's useless. Izuku held Erza up, supporting her with his shoulder as she spoke. Erza, what is the meaning of this, you scoundrel? Aragorn, we've wasted enough of our time on you. Fairy tale flies. Now then, if you'd excuse me. Izuku, get back here. DMNU. Erza, so he wasn't targeting the train station after all. Just what is the planning? Scene change. Izuku could be seen holding a guy up by his collar. An angry expression colored his face as he shouted at the man. Izuku, what are you planning? Answer before I make guy. Never. Izuku was about to punch him when Gray showed up. Gray, Izuku. Erza, I just found out what Eisenwald's real target is. Clover, the next town up. Erza, what? Gray, Aragorn's headed towards the conference as we speak. He's planning to use the lullaby to kill the guild masters. Erza took the guy from Izuku. A murderous aura was printed on her face as she shouted at the frightened man. Erza, why didn't you tell us? Izuku, there is a problem. The station is surrounded by a wind barrier. Gray jumped down and walked to the two. Gray, yeah, I know, I saw it earlier. If we try to break through that thing, it'll make mincemeat out of you. Erza, I've already tried that. Gray, whoa, is your arm okay? Erza, that's not impo. Izuku, not important. It is important. Now then, sit here so I can patch you up. Izuku said, holding a long thread of band-aid and sitting on the ground patting his lap. Erza, we don't have time for that. Izuku, sit down, he said in anger. As if growling at her, instantly she did as told and sat on his lap while he patched her up, and she spoke to Gray and Izuku once both her and he finished. They all left together in search of the man who can break the sealing wind spell and save the MSTR. Running through hallway after hallway, entering door to door and exiting room from room, the building began to shake. Gray, Izuku, was that him? Erza, yes, with Lucy. Lucy, that's Natsu. With Natsu. Natsu began to walk towards the smoke that came from behind the broken wall. Natsu, oh man, look what you made me do. I was trying not to mess up the place. Oh well, I feel good, Natsu said, smiling with his arms crossed at the dark wizard who had his back against the wall completely covered in burns. Natsu, too bad. Diorama. Kageyama, I told you it's Kageyama. Natsu, who cares now? Tell me where Aragorn is. Kageyama, haha, he's long gone. Idiot, he's not even in this station anymore. Natsu, what? Erza, Natsu. Natsu turned to see Izuku, Gray, and Erza running to him. Erza, Natsu, do not harm him, we need him alive. Gray, way to go, flame freak. Natsu, suddenly he saw Erza jumping towards him holding a sword with one glowing red eye. Natsu, I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry. However, she smashed the sword into the wall beside Kageyama, making both him and Natsu jump in fear. Erza, you will dispel the wind barrier, and you will do so without complaint. Kageyama is whimpering in fear while Natsu is shaking and pleading for him to give in to her request. Natsu, just do it, man, this chick's a real monster. Erza, understood. Kageyama, fine, I'll dispel it. Groaned. Suddenly a gold magic circle appeared on Kageyama's chest, and from it, a hand came out and then back. Kageyama fell to the ground unconscious while the man who stabbed him from his own guild was still in the wall with a fearful expression. Erza and Gray were checking on him while Natsu and Izuku had shocked expressions. But then Izuku, how could you do that? He's a member of your guild, he trusted you and you tried to kill him. Shocking the fairy tale members was the darkness that covered Izuku and his eyes which glowed, revealing a gold rage. The guy tried to flee, however Izuku in that very second reeled his fist back and clutched his anti-magic sword. Izuku, how could you? Izuku threw a single punch at the guy, destroying the wall and sending the fat but flying into a wall with a fist mark in his gut. Erza and Gray immediately went back to trying to wake Kageyama up, but nothing came of it. Gray, Erza, there is no way he'll be able to use his magic in that condition. Erza in anger began to shake the guy, making his head hit the ground. Erza, if I force him to, he will. Lucy finally arrived with happy, bad timing. Happy, Lucy, what? Aragorn wants to use lullaby on the guild MSTR. Natsu, we have to stop him. Natsu ran and punched a flaming fist into the barrier, however it only sent him back, but he didn't stop. He tried again and again and again, but nothing came of it. Finally Lucy held him back. Erza, we need to save the guild MSTRS, but how? Izuku, I might have a way. They all turned to Izuku, who looked as if he was thinking. Gray, how? Izuku, I'll show you, but only Natsu will be able to go. Lucy, why? Izuku, because if you try you'll be torn apart. Erza, please try. Izuku. Izuku nodded and walked forward 1 foot from the barrier. Izuku reeled back his fist and shouted, Izuku, Natsu, are you ready? Natsu, yeah. Izuku, Sigh. Okay, deep breath. Try to contain it with your wind magic. Izuku is a wind mage, so he has wind magic, but he only can perform one spell that's called time holding, meaning for a single second he can heal anybody part completely, but it has to be exactly when the user's limb is about to destroyed. Izuku, one for all. 100% Izuku, all push. Izuku's hand collided with the wind barrier, destroying it, but the pressure sent everyone but Natsu flying away, and as the barrier began to build itself back, Izuku shouted, Izuku, Natsu, happy now, go. Natsu ran to Izuku and jumped, hugging Happy as he was pushed through the wind by Izuku and escaped the barrier. Izuku thoughts, thank God the spell worked. Erza, good work Izuku. Izuku nodded with a smile and wiped off his sweat. Gray, what about us? Lucy, oh I know. Come gate of the maiden. Virgo, suddenly a gold magic circle appeared on the ground and from it rose a pink-haired girl with blue eyes and a maid outfit. Virgo, you summoned MSTRS. Lucy, yep. Hey Virgo, could you please dig us a hole so we could get out of here? Virgo, right away Miss Trey. Virgo however stopped mid-sentence and rushed to Izuku's side, petting his head. Virgo, you are very cute. I've decided I want to marry you. Izuku and everyone went in a state of shock from that comment while Erza glared, yet she didn't know why. Izuku, we'll talk about that later, but could you please dig the hole? Virgo, Virgo, anything for my future husband. And with that, she digs the hole. Gray, great. Hey, what are you doing? They all turned to Izuku, who was helping the enemy stand. Izuku, I know that he's the enemy, but even so we can't just leave him here. Erza looked in shock and then in awe with a blush, but ultimately smiled in the end. Izuku, now let's go. All of them got out and stood in front of the magic barrier. Lucy, oh wow, what's with this wind? It's so strong. Virgo, Princess, I'll keep your panties from showing, she said, holding Lucy's skirt so it doesn't reveal anything. Lucy, you just worry about your own. Meanwhile Izuku and Gray were standing behind Virgo with blushes. Izuku, Gray, oh wow Kage, it's no use, you'll never be able to catch up to Aragorn. You can't stop us, we've won. Izuku, that's not true. They all turned to Izuku, who had a serious expression on his face. Izuku, if anyone can stop him it's Natsu. I have full faith in that. The fairy tailors smiled at his words while Kage snarled, Izuku, now let's go, we got to catch up to Natsu. The group nodded while Izuku grabbed Kage by his ponytail and threw him into the car they were in, finally driving off to Natsu in the back. Gray, Lucy and Kage were seated. Kage, why are you helping me? We're enemies. Lucy looked at him angrily. Kage, oh wait, I get it, you're taking me hostage so you can make a deal with Aragorn. Well, forget about it, he doesn't care about any of his men or me. Lucy, geez, lighten up dude. Gray, if you want to die we can make that happen. Lucy, chill. Gray, there's a whole lot more in this world than just life and death, you know. You should try to look for the positive. You and your Eisenwald pulls. Suddenly the car jumped into the sky and Lucis but his Kage's face before the car went back down. Erza, who was seated beside Izuku, screamed out, I'm so sorry, the tracks aren't stable. Lucy, I am so sorry. Kage, ugh, could your butt get any bigger? Lucy, he said I had a big butt. And as Lucy kept ranting on, Gray was hoping for a calmer drive. Meanwhile outside Erza was running out on all her magic when Izuku picked her up and placed her on his lap. Erza, what are you doing? Izuku, rest, your magic is nearly depleted. This way I can use my magic and also keep you warm. Now sleep, Izuku said, taking the steering stick from her and letting Erza rest. Erza thought, I don't know this man very well, but he's so gentle and warm and cozy. Yawn, maybe just a little nap, she told herself as she closed her eyes before sleeping. Izuku, DMN, we need to get there in time with Natsu. As everyone arrived at Natsu's location, Lucy called Natsu over. Lucy, Natsu, hey, you guys just missed seeing me beat Aragorn. Erza, I'm proud of you. Izuku helped Erza down, holding her princess style. Izuku, are you alright? Erza with a large blush, yes, you don't need to worry about me. Kage, no way, Aragorn never lost his screech. Kage looked at the flute that began to glow red. Gray, I can't believe you had such a hard time with this guy. Natsu, I never said that I took care of him, didn't I? Happy, I was kinda worried for a while there. Gray, whatever, you look pretty stupid with a scared when you half naked. Natsu, like you have room to talk. Turning to Lucy, hey Lucy, give me your clothes. Lucy, angry and blushing, I am your dreams. Erza, giggle. Izuku, in any case great job Natsu, thanks to you all the guild MSTRS will be okay. Lucy, nodding. Natsu, nodding. Gray, Erza, well, while we're here we should stop by the MSTRS guild conference to tell him about the events that just played out and how to dispose of the Lullaby flute. Happy, might as well since we're so close to Clover. Little did they know the flute began to control someone and suddenly the car smashed above them, making everyone jump out the way. Erza, Kage, Izuku, what are you doing? Kage, Lullaby's mine now, shouldn't have let your guard down. Flies crackling as he sped off. Izuku, Gray, Natsu, And Lucy all held faces of shock frozen by the man's actions. Meanwhile Erza was said Natsu, that JRK Lucy. This is how he pays us back for saving his life. Erza, after him now in Clover. Remember, I'm only showing Izuku. The group reached Clover after hours. Night had befallen the land, and when they arrived Kage was in front of Makarov, who was simply talking to him. Natsu, Gramps Gray, there he is. Erza, MSTR. She was just about to get to the good part. Well, aren't you boys just yummy, so adorable. Izuki, Gray, and Natsu were now hugging each other while shuddering in fear. Lucy, who the hell is that guy? The man was creeping up to Gray, Izuku, and Natsu, making them jump back. Erza, MSTR. Bob, Erza honey, you've really filled out. Lucy, I can't believe that's the MSTR of the Blue Pegasus Guild. Makarov had talked Kage out of the horrible choice he was about to make when the group ran to him. Erza, MSTR. Natsu, you stopped him. Gray, good job. Gramps. Makarov, what the how did you kids end up in Clover? Erza grabbed the old man and hugged him hard, hurting him since he slammed into her breastplate. Erza, MSTR. Makarov, your words touched me so deeply that I was almost moved to tears. Makarov, Auha. Izuku, is that you, my boy? Izuku, yeah. MSTR. I'm home. Makarov's eyes began to water as he hugged Izuku, confusing the group. Natsu, MSTR. What's up? Makarov, Izuku, I'm so glad that he is working with others now. The Guild only smiled at their MSTR's kind heart. However, as things began to wrap up, Fate, me, had another idea. The flute's eyes glowed purple as black fog escaped its mouth. Flute, ha ha ha, I've grown tired of you weak wizards and your antics. A large magic circle appeared over everyone. Random, what is that? Flute, I shall no longer hold back. I will devour your souls myself. I shall feast upon your pitiful souls. Lullaby, now which shall I dine on first? Erza, MSTR. Get everyone to safety. Makarov nodded, and along with him the other MSTRs guided every away. Erza, let's end this. Izuku, Gray, Natsu, right, and all four jumped to the monster. Erza, requip. Erza, the knight slashing twice, she made the monster scream in pain. Gray, ice make lance. The lances fired like rockets, making the demon scream in agony. Natsu, fire dragon iron fist. Izuku, Manchester smash. Both punched the monster's chest and axe kicked the thing's head, causing it to roar in agony. Attack after attack, scream after scream. Each person watching the group was left in both awe and shock. Lullaby, enough, swinging its arm and smashing the mountains. The four were on all four, jumped and attacked again. Izuku, Natsu, let's do this. Fire dragon wing attack, one for all. Final smash. Kage, that's incredible. Their attacks and combinations are so strong. Lucy, and they in sync. Happy, I. Lullaby growled in anger before creating a large magic circle over its head, absorbing all the natural life around it and looking back at the group. Lucy, this can't be good. It's a song. Happy, AYE. However, as it played, nothing happened. Lullaby, what happened? Kage, they must have damaged its body with all those attacks. Lucy, they must have punched a lot of holes into it, wrecking the song. The four smiled at each other and all attacked one final time. Gray, ice make ice cannon. Ice. Erza, requip. Erza required into her black wing armor and slashed the cheek of the monster, sending it tumbling down. Natsu, fire dragon brilliant flame. Erza, Izuku, now Izuku, one for all. 100% smash. And with that, the monster was defeated. Erza, we did it. Natsu, yeah we did, cause we're the best. Lucy, you guys were AMA. Gray, not yet. They all turned a wide eye to see the monster growing again. Rocks began to grow on its body as it doubled in size, looking down at everyone as they all were shaking in terror, even Erza, but no one more than Izuku. Izuku, it can't be any it can't. Giglimatek. Erza, we need to defeat I. But before she could finish, Giglimatek punched the ground full force, sending the entire group into the floor. As the smoke and dust cleared, Izuku saw every one of his friends lying bruised, nearly dead. Izuku, no, not again. No, I'll kill you. Izuku ran forward and picked up Erza's swords, running towards the monster, who simply stood there and began to kill it using all his rage, and one for all at 1000%. Finally coming down from the sky, Izuku ignited his sword in green flames and finished it. Giglimatek's body fell to the ground as everyone began to wake up, only to see Izuku standing holding his two blades. His hair shadowed his eyes as the rain dropped down on everyone and him. However, the tears streaming down his face were easily seeable through the water. Makarov knew the boy's reason for doing what he did and didn't question it. The other guild MSTRs were left in shock and fear of the boy from the brutal murder he committed. Nothing was said at that moment. Natsu looked down along with Lucy and Grey. Happy simply cried while Erza walked up to Izuku. Seeing the streams of tears run down his face, she couldn't help but tear up herself and hug him. Erza saw one of the Izukus memories, and that was seeing Izukus' baby girl Eri get crushed under that monster's foot, finally getting revenge even though he brought Eri back to life. What will happen next? Did you like this chapter? Please comment. Peace. Izuku is sitting in the bar of Fairy Tail while talking to Mira. Natsu and Happy are discussing a plan which Izuku couldn't be bothered listening to. Sighing, he stood up and grabbed the paper beside him. Izuku, MSTR. Makarov turned with a smile to see Izuku holding a paper in front of him. Izuku, MSTR, I'd like to go on this S-class quest. The entire guild went pale and then they all began to shout and scream in denial. However, what the MSTR said next shocked them. Makarov, alright my boy. Izuku nodded and left while everyone was a statue of white. As soon as the doors closed, everyone began to bombard the MSTR with questions. Biska, MSTR, why did you let him go? Mira, yeah MSTR. Izuku, he isn't strong. Eno, Makarov, that's enough. Everyone went silent upon hearing the MSTR shout. Makarov, have none of you realized what that poor boy is going through? He died and came back to the life. He's all alone and no one is there to help him through it. That boy is so strong and yet so weak. His heart, if I didn't allow him to go, it would break. I needed to do this for him, so be quiet and go back to what you were doing. Fairy Tail looked down in sadness for ignoring the boy's feelings and pain, while others because of how they spoke about him behind his back. Makarov, besides Erza's with him, what could go wrong with Izuku? After 2 hours, Izuku and Erza are seen walking down the streets of Clover Town at night. Finding An and the two went inside. Izuku, pardon me Miss. Izuku said, speaking to the receptionist. Receptionist, yes, how can I help you? She said, looking at him up and down. Izuku, we'd like 2 rooms, please. Receptionist, sorry, there is only 1 room, sir. Izuku, Yuda, Erza, it's fine, we'll take it. Izuku blushed and looked away from Erza, who was oblivious to his actions. So after paying the receptionist, the 2 teens left and went to their bedroom, immediately changing. Izuku and Erza went to sleep. In the morning, both Izuku and Erza are seated in front of a man in a suit. Man, thank you for coming. Cough, you see, a monster came and attacked our town when we were all asleep. He kidnapped many of the females, teen, adult, and child. He killed the males of our town. And well, Izuku, then how are you still alive? Man, well, you see, I am the mayor of this town and I sleep in a room below the surface. Erza, we understand and you can count on us to deal with the monster. Mayor, thank you so much. Crying, Izuku and Erza had left the building and ventured into the forest. Fight. Izuku, hey Erza, have you ever felt fear? Erza's eyes widened in shock as a memory came to pass in her mind. Erza, no. Why is it you ask? Izuku, because. Izuku looked forward. Izuku, I feel it every day. Erza raised her eye in confusion when they suddenly heard Erza, oh Izuku, SHTRUUUUUN. Izuku and Erza began to run for the MSTR dinosaur-like monster. Erza, we need to stop it. Izuku, we can't. Erza don't. However, she didn't listen and charged in any way. Izuku, Erza knew. Erza, requip. Erza, purgatory armor. Haia. She jumped high right beside the Trex's head and slammed her massive blade down. Sadly, instead of damaging it, the Trex smashed its head against her and sent Erza tumbling down, spinning around, about to slam its tail into her when Izuku jumped in front of her with his arms to block the impact. However, instead of protecting them, the Trex's tail shattered Izuku's arm and sent them all slamming into the mountain wall. The 2 crashed into the ground. The Trex walked to the 2 and opened its mouth over Erza, about to close it on her and eat the girl, when it roared in pain and agony, stepping back. Its chin had smoke coming from it and Izuku was standing huffing and puffing. It roared again and slammed its foot into the ground, sending a massive flood of ice at Izuku and Erza. Izuku could only stare in pain at the ice before clenching his fist with all his strength and punching the ice with all his strength as the ice split in between his fist. BLD and purple skin rain. The Trex went again, about to finish it, when Izuku glared at it, with his eyes turning green with glowing slits. Izuku, stop. ITTTTTTT tanned with it. He sent a massive pillar of wind against the ice, causing both to clash and rise off the ground. The attacks ended and Izuku fell to his knees. His entire body and fist ached in pain, but he couldn't stop. He had to know. He needed to protect Erza with his life. There was just something about seeing her in peace that made him happy, and he refused to lose it. So he crawled to Erza and went on his knees, picking her up and leaning close, opening his mouth a little as the Trex fired. Roared a colossal beam at them. ND as it got closer, Izuku placed his lips softly on Erza as she woke up in shock, seeing his wounds, the damage his bloody hand. She couldn't help but tear up. Izuku let go and looked her in the eye, and she could see his glowing green eyes shocking her. He stood up, and just as the wave was about to hit them, Izuku released all his magic, and with that, he completely vaporized the mountain. The smoke cleared, revealing a wounded Erza whose face was one of complete and utter shock. However, that shock was suched with worry when the smoke cleared to reveal Izuku standing unconscious, covered in scars and BLD, but not his BLD, the BLD of the T-Rex dragon which rained down on him. Erza. This wasn't an S-class monster, it was SS, and yet he destroyed it along with this mountain. The dragon Fafnir, you just slaughtered it. Who are you, Izuku? Because someone who just entered our world being able to kill a monster that not even the 10 wizard saints could beat isn't a normal human. But she placed her hands on her lips with a massive blush. I can't believe you kissed me. In the fairy tale guild hall within its hospital, Izuku could be seen waking up on a hospital bed. Izuku. Ow wow my head. He placed his hand on his forehead when the door opened and he heard a metal plate hit the floor. He turned to the cause of noise to see Mira with tears in her eyes before she charged and hugged him. Mira. Izuku. Hey Mira. Izuku looked at her with a tired smile, hugging her back as she cried. After a bit, Mira stopped crying and sat on Izuku's lap as he petted her head. Izuku. So have you visited Lisana lately? Mira. Thank you for cleaning it before you left. Izuku. Of course, but one thing. Hey Mira, are you angry at me? Mira. No, why would I be? Izuku. I don't know, it's just you're squeezing my thigh too hard and I think it's purple. Mira. Oh really? Well, it's what you get for kissing Erza. Izuku went pale. She knew, oh god, he was screwed. Ryuyu and Midoriya. Izuku. Mira. Sweet Mira, it was just to Mira. Sigh. I know, I'm sorry, she said, looking down sadly as Izuku looked down as well, but brightened up after getting an idea. Izuku. Hey Mira, will you go on a date with me after I come back from getting Natsu from that island? Mira smiled happily and nodded like a puppy who was about to get her to treat Mira. Hooray! She yelled, hugging Izuku's neck as he laughed. Izuku. Now then, let's get to the guild so I can leave and come back fast. Mira. Right, in the guild. Erza is rampaging in the guild from the news about Natsu. Erza. Do not worry Mstr, I will bring them back, I swear. Makarov. Good. Erza began to leave when the doors were opened, revealing Izuku, who had a smile on his face, wearing a black button-up shirt with rolled-up sleeves, black jeans, black cowboy boots, and a belt. Izuku. Let's go. Erza. See ya. Mstr. Erza. Wait, what? After all you went through you can't cheat? Makarov. Yep, have fun. Izuku. Erza just froze in shock that the Mstr would let Izuku leave like that. However, she unfroze seeing how Mira was looking at her, and then Mira leaned up and kissed Izuku on the cheek, making everyone freeze in shock. Mira. I'll be waiting. Izuku. Right, he said, clutching his fist before leaving Erza. Biska. What the hell? Izuku. Wait for me. And with that, Izuku and Erza went on their way to get Natsu, Gray, Lucy, and happy time skip on a pirate ship. We see Izuku and Erza standing while the entire crew is knocked out and the one man standing is the captain. Why do you want to go to Galuna Island? It's scary. Erza. Just shut up and steer, Captain. Okay. The crew began to wake up. Captain. If you drop us off somewhere you can have the boat. He looked around ferociously. Captain. Please, I'm begging you, lady. Sir, I've heard that island is cursed and anyone who steps foot on it turns into a demon. Erza. I will take that chance, Captain. But why do you have to go there? Izuku. Please don't. Erza. When rules are broken the guilty must be punished, and that is all I can tell you. Izuku. There it is for the 100th time. Great. The entire crew, who was now fully awoken, had fallen in love with Erza and decided to follow every order she gave, including the captain. Izuku thoughts. Yara, be careful. Natsu, she set off. Izuku. Hey Erza. Yes Izuku, isn't that Lucy about to be eaten by a giant blue raid in a singlet? Erza. Yes Izuku. So shouldn't we? Who, you already jumped? Izuku screamed, seeing Erza soaring towards Lucy. Izuku. See ya fellas, Izuku said, jumping as well to Lucy. With Lucy, the mouse was about to eat her when Rat. She looked up to see Erza and Izuku slash her at the same time, defeating the giant mouse. Once the smoke cleared, Izuku and Erza's backs were facing Lucy and she called out, Izuku, Erza. However, she was stopped by Erza's frightening glare. Erza. Lucy, you know why we're here, right? I assume you do. Lucy. To take us back. Promise you won't hurt me. Her voice echoed around the three as Lucy slowly fell into a scared state. Happy. Hey, I was looking for you. I was worried. However, before Happy could finish, he saw Erza, gulped, whimpered. He flew away only to magically appear beside Erza with his tail in her hand. Izuku. Lucy, where is Natsu? Lucy. Listen, I'm sorry we came without permission, but some really awful things have been happening on this island. There's this guy and his minions who are trying to revive a frozen demon, and the island's villagers are suffering because of the spell. They've turned into monsters. We just thought that if we work together we might be able to help them. Erza. That is none of my concern. Izuku and Lucy were shocked beyond compare. Izuku especially, since from the moment he met Erza she's tried to save everyone. Lucy, please Erza, let us finish this job. We can't leave things this way. Gasp. Erza put her sword to Lucy's throat. Erza, I don't think you understand. Lucy, the three of you have betrayed Mr. Makarov. You'd be lucky if you walk away with your lives. Izuku, Erza, I think you should calm down. Erza turned to Izuku and put her sword to his throat. Erza, and why should I? Please do tell. Izuku, put that blade down. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't threaten her. It isn't right. And also let's look for Natsu and Gray. Isn't that what you wanted, or am I wrong? Izuku's eyes like Erza became two colors, dark green and black, while hers purple and black, and Erza put her sword away. Erza, sigh, you're right, I'm sorry. Izuku, it's fine. Let's just get to it. And with that, the four left. They wandered around as Lucy guided them into the once nice village, now a sphere with a single undamaged circle. Lucy explained what had happened and Happy flew up high to find everyone. Upon finding a camp he guided them there. Erza asked where Gray was and they were taken to a tent he was resting in. Seeing as how he was unconscious they decided to go to an empty tent and wait there for Gray to wake up. Meanwhile Erza simply glared at the tied up Lucy and Happy, who was shaking in fear, but Izuku was looking at Erza and the way she was acting he didn't like it at all. Time skip. Gray woke up after a few hours and exited his tent. Looking around the new area a girl came up to him and told him where Erza and the rest were. So quickly he rushed to her tent only to find Izuku lying down with his back against a few wooden boxes and Erza sitting on the boxes as if a queen. Clearly she was said, Erza, you're late. You made me wait. Not smart. Gray, Erza. Erza, Lucis got me up to speed on everything that's happened. I thought you were sent here to stop Natsu and these two fools. Needless to say I'm disappointed. Gray, where is Natsu anyway? Erza, that's what I would like to know. Lucy, the last time I saw him was when we were versing the Cold Emperor's lackeys, but when we went back no one was around. Izuku, we got Happy to search the sky and find you. Erza, now let's look for Natsu and return to the guild. Gray, but we can't leave the island just yet. You've seen everything that's been going on in this island. We should help them, right? Izuku, yes, but Erza, and what would be your point? I've come here solely to bring these fools back to the guild. I'm not interested in anything other than that. Gray, fools, have you seen what's been going on this island? Erza, I have. Gray, and you're just gonna turn your back on them? Erza, their request has been posted on every guild. It's better to entrust wizards who are suited for this kind of thing, unlike the rest of you. Gray, how can you be so heartless? Erza turned with rage in her eyes. What did you say? Izuku, Erza. They all turned to Izuku, I think we should help them. Erza got angrier and pulled her sword out. Erza, so you're on their side and you think it's alright to break the rules and go unpunished? Izuku, I'm not on any side. Yes, they deserve a form of punishment for this, however the needs of the people come first. We should help them all while we still can instead of leaving them to another guild. Erza began to chuckle, confusing the rest. Izuku, what's so funny? Erza, that you still think you're a hero? She turned serious with her glare. Erza, 'cause you're not. All you are is a simple wizard who came to our world, nothing more. The other got shocked by her harsh words, knowing what Izuku had been through. This was disgusting. Gray, Erza, Lucy, how could you be so happy? Mean. Erza, this world isn't yours. You don't belong here. Yes, you may have been a hero once, but now you aren't anyone. No one cares in this world of your title what you were. It means nothing here, and if this is so you can increase your fame and fans, then forget it. This is not a story where you're the main character, nor is it where you belong. Izuku, he looked down completely silent. Izuku, shut up, he said in a whisper, gaining their attention. Erza, what? She said, annoyed before Izuku. I said shut the hell up. The three were shocked by Izuku's action and followed him out. Izuku, what the hell do you know? Erza looked up in shock with a few scratches on her face and armor. Izuku, you have no clue what I am going through. You know nothing about me. Not my pain, not my tears, nothing. I can't smile anymore, not like then, because every time I do I can't help but think about my friends. Izuku looked up, shocking her and everyone else. He was crying. Izuku, I sleep every night and see them memories, everything, and I wake up wishing this was all a dream, but it isn't. I keep having to enter the guild every day and see everyone smiling happily with each other. They know each other, but what about me? I hate this. I want to go home. I want to see my mother and All Might, my adopted daughter Eri, and I can't even remember her voice. Could you ever understand that, not being able to even remember what your little girl sounds and looks like? CNU. Erza's face was frozen between upset with herself and broken-hearted from what she said. Erza, Izuku, you're what? All my life all I've ever known was pain. My best friend, my friends, my own father would come home every night. Everyone was silent, not wanting to know how he would finish. Izuku, And he's beat me within an inch of my life till I was 12 scar after scar I bled out onto the ground, and when I finally got the chance to be happy I lose it 16 years of pure unadulterated torture all. For a year of happiness I missed them all, but I died, and I can't stop hearing Kakin screaming my name for me to wake up, but I can't, and I hate myself for it, for not being there for Kakin, for not keeping my promise and raising Eri, for never being able to see my own dying mother before she goes. Erza was crying from this, she was in pain, and so were the rest of Fairy Tail. They never knew or cared, never once thought of how Izuku was suffering all alone. Izuku, so tell me Erza that it'll all be alright. Tell me there is a light at the end of the road, because I can't find it. The only person to ever notice or care was Mira, Biska, Levi, and Makarov. No one else cared, no one but them, the entire guild. Even they speak about me as you did now. Their words hurt me every day, but no comes to help me. Only Mira, she always got me to smile along with the girls. So I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if I'm exiled from the guild. I will save these villagers, and I will do it alone if I have to. Because that was how Grandpa Rob taught me before he died. Izuku walked forward passing Erza before stopping and saying, skip to 233, Izuku, those who break the rules are some, that's true, but those who abandon their friends are worse than some, and those who abandon someone when they're asking for help is much worse some than that. Go to 109, and I'd much rather die than let anyone suffer any longer than they already have. Erza's eyes widened and tears fell faster than before. I'm sorry, she repeated over and over as he walked away from the village split and let Izuku walk past them from the middle. Each held tears in their eyes. Gray was left smiling happily at Izuku and immediately followed. However, before entering the forest Izuku stopped. Izuku, remember this Erza, I will save everyone, even you. And with that, he left with Izuku after leaving Erza, and that he and Gray ran through the forest in search of the temple when they heard a scream. Wait, turning they saw Erza and the other two. Gray, what are you guys doing here? Erza, the sooner we finish this job the sooner we get back to the guild, so I'm helping until them. Gray and Izuku nodded, and Gray began to tell them about Leon as well as the reason why he wants to free Deliora. Lucy, to beat Deliora, that's his goal. Gray, for a long time now Leon has wanted to defeat it and surpass UR. However, when she died he lost that chance, so he thought that the only way to truly surpass her was to defeat the one thing she couldn't. Izuku, I see, to surpass the dead he must defeat Deliora, something she herself couldn't. Gray, yes, but UR isn't dead. Erza, what do you mean? Gray proceeded to tell everyone the story of Erza's death and everything that happened after, how she turned into the ice ceiling Deliora and how he was supposed to keep it a secret from Leon. Izuku, we're here, but what's up with the temple? Lucy, it's titled Gray, it must have been Natsu, it's genius. Now the moon drip won't fall on Deliora, but knowing Natsu it probably was an accident. Lucy, who knew his tendency to destroy things, would come in handy. Erza pushed Happy and Lucy down while Izuku and Gay dodged with ease from the razor that went past them and into a tree. Lackey, we found them. Fairy Tail Lackey too, we can't let them stop the Cold Emperor. Erza, leave them to me, go and solve things with Leon. Gray, right. Lucy, Happy, will stay and help you. Izuku, in going with Gray era. Izuku, why? But before she could finish, Izuku was already gone now with Gray as he zoomed towards the temple. Izuku caught up. Gray, Izuku, don't worry about me, I'll help while you deal with Leon. Gray, right, but Izuku, from before. Izuku, forget about it. Gray knew Izuku was still in pain, so he left it and continued to move forward. Gray and Izuku broke into the temple in search of Natsu. They went from path to path until they felt it getting colder, so Gray broke through and entered, finding an entire ground of ice with Natsu and Leon fighting. Natsu, Izuku, Gray, what are you guys doing here? Izuku, I'm here to help with the mission. Gray, Natsu, let me beat this guy. Natsu, you lost to him already. Gray, not this time, I'll finish him. Leon, I see you're full of pride. Gray, I admit I killed UR, but you hurt my friends, the people of this island, all for to melt the ice. I'll never forgive you for that, Leon, and I'll make you pay for it. Leon, that pose ice shell. Izuku, Natsu, ice shell. It was at that moment the two realized what Gray was planning. Leon, have you gone crazy? Gray, take your friends and get off this island, but first fix the people of here or else I'm done with you. Leon, do you seriously believe that I'd fall for that? It's useless. Gray, I mean it. The wind surrounding Gray was unapproachable. Leon fired an attack only for it to be reflected. Izuku, Natsu, Gray, no, don't do this. Gray, Ice about to finish his sentence when Natsu Hyaya Gray fell to the ground shocked, but he got up instantly and grabbed Natsu by the scarf. Gray, idiot, I have to be the one to defeat him, I'm ready to die. Natsu grabbed Gray's wrist tightly. Natsu, so you want to die isn't that the same as abandoning everyone else? Gray realized what Natsu said was true and let go. He was ready to die but not ready to abandon fairy tale. Suddenly the temple began to go back to its original state. Natsu, what the Natsu raged all over the place. Izuku, this isn't fixing, no, this is time. Someone went back in time for this temple, but that magic, it's lost. Gray, if that moonlight shines on Deliora then it will be revived. Sorry to interrupt. A man with an Oni mask and short body appeared next to Leon. Leon, how was everything? Zalty, the moon will rise any minute now, so I needed to return the tower to its original state. Natsu, so it was you. Do you know how hard I worked to destroy this place? How did you fix it so quickly? Zalty looked at Natsu and laughed, pissing him off to extremes. Natsu, tell me. Zalty, I suppose we should start with the moon drop ceremony, he said, ignoring Natsu and running away while laughing. Natsu, Aoiwa, I'll get you, little man, Natsu shouted while some fire spews out his mouth. Gray, Natsu, Gray, you deal with this guy, I'm going after him. And with that Natsu darted off to Zalty. Izuku, Gray, you take care of this dude, I'll go after Natsu. Gray, right? And with that Izuku left with Izuku. Izuku caught up to Natsu and no sweat. Izuku, Natsu, go to the cavern of the ruins. Natsu, huh, why me? Izuku, according to Lucy, moon drop is performed up there, we need someone to stop them, and since there are a lot of wizards up there you need to deal with them. After all, you're stronger than me. Natsu, but you're faster. Izuku, please. Natsu, fine, but you better deal with this guy. Izuku, no problem. Natsu left Izuku to follow Zalty, who stopped and used a magic circle, causing a circle from the roof to fall onto Izuku. However, Izuku had other ideas and smashed it into pieces. Zalty waved his hand and the pieces of stone reverted back to the way they were before. Izuku, the hell is this? Suddenly Zalty vanished and Izuku lost sight of him, that is till he remembered Izuku. Himiko had the same trick when she became Kami. Sai breath focus. Izukus only saw black and then his eyes opened. Izuku, found you. Izuku vanished and reappeared over Zalty, reeling his fist back before punching him in the face. Zalty fell to the ground holding his cheek. Izuku, now then show me your real face. A vicious smirk crawled onto Izuku's face as he called out, one for all, full cowling 100.